Good morning. Today I'm going to teach you about scanning for new disks. This is something you would do anytime you add a new disk to your computer. If you're one of those people who gets really interested in new technology, this is something you'll want to pay attention to. Disks installed on a computer must have several things done to them to make them usable and to keep them functional. Before you can do the majority of these functions, you must first find the hard disk on the computer. You will learn how to check for a new hard disk on a computer today. This should take you 10 minutes, give or take. First thing you want to do is you're going to come down here to Start. We're going to come up here to Computer, but you're not going to click it. Right-click it. That will open up this pop-up and go to Manage. Okay, it might ask you if you need permission to come in. If you do, say yes. My computer's going to think for a second while it brings up the console. There's our console. Now, there are three areas to look at here. These are called panes. Okay, this is the left-hand pane, this is the right-hand pane, and this is the details pane. This is gives you the details of what you've asked for over here. We want Device Manager. So we're going to click on Device Manager. It's going to think again, then it's going to bring up a long list. This is everything that is on my computer, every hard device that's on my computer right now. Right? We want to come up here to My Computer. You're not double clicking, you're just going to click it to highlight it. There are two areas here. Add legacy hardware. We're not going to do that. We want to scan for hardware changes today. You can see everything disappears. It's doing its thinking, it's doing its thinking. Then the new list shows up. In our case, because I didn't actually add hardware, nothing showed up. But we're just scanning for it. So that's okay. So over here we're going to come to Disk Management. So you can see at the bottom down here, it's talking to us, telling us what's going on. Okay, up here, it's going to give us a bunch of information. And this is a fun place to be if you haven't been here yet. It tells you all sorts of information about your computer. Some of it I didn't even know it could tell us. So we are in the Disk Management page. Right, we want to come over here. We're not going to do anything, but this is a fun place to look. You're going to right click over Disk Management. There's Refresh, Rescan Disks, Create VHD. We don't want to do any of that, but this Rescan Disk, let's do that. Now this is going to take a minute. This is the longest part of this whole thing, other than listen to me talk. Okay, so there it goes. It's scanning and it's flickering and it's doing its thing. Okay, so far there are no unknown disks. There is disk 0 and disk 1, and you can tell disk 1 is removable, so it's not new, and disk 0 is basic. If we had actually added a new disk, there would be one in here that instead of saying basic would say unknown. And if it was unknown, then we would have to do those several functions I had told you about earlier that would be needed to keep it usable and keep it functioning correctly. But hey, everything's great. So we can close out of this. Just a couple of things I want to let you know. That way you can think about this in case you decide to add a new disk to your computer. If a hard drive is connected by a USB controller between itself and the computer, so here's your hard drive, there's a USB cord, and then there's the computer, it must be working properly for the hard disk to be visible to the computer. So if you don't have that unknown disk, one of those things that you always have to be aware of is sometimes those cords, they're just not any good. So if you can't, if it's not visible to the computer, it may be that. The second is that the disk is a singular device. but the hardware used to connect it to the computer, may have several components. So if something isn't working, that doesn't necessarily mean you got a bad hard disk. Just means maybe one of your components is messed up. I hope this was helpful. Good day.